The next step has to do with clients and customers and giving some areas of important details. I think it's going to be helpful for you as you build your business. The first is under client retention. Clients are going to come and go. It's not like you have a client for life and they never see anybody else again. We all have phases where we like to receive a certain type of massage and we go with somebody else later on and we move around. You want to make it very comfortable for your clients to try somebody else and not feel bad about that. If you're a good therapist, they'll come back to you anyway. It's when you make them feel awkward, they have a hard time returning. So help your clients understand that they should try the massage as well. And that way they have more of a rotating basis and coming to you maybe in seasons. But how you talk to them, your communication, customer service are all very important. Under the area of communication, you need to have good boundaries. We talked about your policy manuals, but having good boundaries with your clients is going to be very important. It sounds obvious, but they should have told you in school, you don't talk about sex, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion. Those are the big three that cause irritations and people not to feel comfortable returning to you. And I've had therapists I've gone to, and the entire time they're talking about politics and those darn Republicans or those darn Democrats, and I just want to relax. And therapists often cross that boundary, or they start to preach their personal religion, or even not worse yet, but they deal with network marketing. They're trying to get their clients to start to buy their products, and they're talking their ear off about these various programs. And so be careful about your communication on that. Have good boundaries in that regard as well. Have good, clear cancellation policies and good communication about that. Those policies should be on the intake forms. They should be on the wall next to where the person writes their check. Their cancellation policies need to be everywhere, and even on your answering machine when the person makes the appointment or leaves a message for the first time. In your communication, you should have a first meeting with new clients. I actually recommend when someone calls up and they want to meet, they want to find out what kind of work they need to have done. I like to meet with them and discuss that. If you're a male and you oftentimes I'll have people who have called up and they'll say, I hear you're very good at what you do. Do you have any women that work for you? And it's kind of ironic. So I'll say, tell you what, why don't you come on in? I'll do an intake. I'll talk to you about your needs and find out who the best person is to refer you to, or which therapist I have to be a great therapist for you. They come in for their interview. I'll talk to them, ask them all the questions they need, and talk about their injuries or talk about their goals. And I'll say, so you're looking for a woman, right? And they always say, no, you're fine. They just want to make sure you're safe. So communication is going to make your job easier in a number of ways, especially if a person has male or female hang-ups and they're concerned or have worries. The frequency isn't about you. It's about the client. They just forget. Have you ever forgotten to get your teeth cleaned? It's just slipped your mind and you forgot about it. And you're taking it personally. Don't. So good communication might be in reminder phone calls. It might be in notes that you send. But have good interpersonal skills and be able to talk to your clientele about the needs, about what they need to plan for, and have permission to communicate with them in writing or in phone calls. Communication also goes into educating your client about a specific treatment plan. Remember, you're the expert. You know how much time they need to come in for a massage if they have low back pain, or if they have carpal tunnel, how many treatments they typically are going to take. They don't know that. So don't just say, well, call me when you need me. You want to give them a specific plan for attack and make sure they understand what the best way is to get themselves out of pain and stay out of pain. I've been asked by massage therapists about being an introvert and how do I market as an introvert. I think the biggest thing you need to keep in mind is talking about personal issues is much different than talking about medical information or educating a client about nutrition or educating your client about frequency of what's important. Asking simple questions that you've already pre-written and understand how you're going to ask them is going to help you if you're an introvert. For example, if you want to boost your bottom line, you've got a client coming in and they've scheduled a 30-minute massage, they've scheduled an hour-long massage. As an introvert, writing down different ways to talk to your client is going to help. For example, a client comes in, you say, I've got time in my schedule after your appointment today. Would you like to change your massage from a half an hour to an hour? And the person you can talk about the price if they ask you, but they'll often say, well, how much more is that? Say, well, it's just, and tell them the difference in price. But if you're an introvert or communication is scary for you, by saying that same thing every time and being consistent, it's going to be easier and easier. So I find the continuity of asking certain questions is going to make it easier for you to talk to clients. Again, you have an hour-long massage booked and say, what, I have time after your massage. Would you like to upgrade that to a 90-minute massage instead? And just be quiet and wait for their answer. So don't be afraid to communicate with your clients about business, because that's so much easier than talking to them about personal issues. If you want to build a clientele, you need to have several things in place. You need to have good building of relationships with your clients in a professional way where they really start to trust you. You need to also be very referable. And what does that mean? Well, you need to be a kind of a person they want to send people to. And that professionalism that you exude, that you show in all that you do, is going to make them more confident and comfortable to refer people to you. So that means your professionalism means you're going to have a good or clean, that simple business card that's professional looking. Your flyers are professional. Your website's professional. Your gift certificates look nice and professional. The message on your answering machine needs to be professional. I see a lot of therapists have a humor, or they're joking around, or they have a song playing while so you're waiting, while your phone's ringing, you hear the song play, and that song really is not a professional song. Just have a tone that rings like most people do. Your appearance of your office space when people show up is very, very important. That you want to make sure that there's professionalism when people walk into your office. How you dress and present yourself in public, maybe even how you drive around town is going to be important for you as well. So posting on Facebook, I've seen people, they have friends of friends and they see posts that you make and they refer and pass those posts on, and they're not professional. That will actually affect your business over time. So be professional, and that makes you referable. People want to send people to you, but that perception of who you are starts long before they even walk in the door. Remember, too, that you're the expert, and you know what it takes to get well. You're overcoming injury and pain. People are going to come to you for what they need. They're going to ask your advice, and don't be afraid to give it to them. Your professionalism and how you talk to your clients and how you communicate that treatment plan is very, very important. And the consistency in what you say, so you don't tell one person one thing and a different thing to somebody else. Be consistent in your communication, but also make sure you give a plan. When you do want to create that ideal treatment plan, how I talk to my clients, I'll say this. I'll say, before I can suggest the ideal treatment plan for you, tell me more about your goals. What are you looking to get from your massage? What are you hoping to get from your sessions? Are you looking for permanent change? Or are you wanting to just get relief? Do you just want to feel great for the moment? Tell me what your needs are, and we can make a plan that's going to fit you ideally. So when they tell you this information, when you give them back a direction as far as what they should receive, they're going to trust you from that standpoint, because you've actually interviewed them versus saying everybody needs to come in twice a week, right? That's not a plan that makes it unique for them. So customize the plan based on the information they give you. Another way to word it is to say, if money wasn't an issue, would you be interested in coming in on a regular basis to get well? It's a funny thing to say, but when you say it that way, they're like, if money's not an issue, what would I do? And it also makes them realize that, they don't have money issues unless you make it a money issue. Or you say, gosh, it's really expensive to come in, so I'll decrease the amount of times that you come in. But ask them, again, if money's not an issue, would you be interested in coming in on a regular basis to get well? And they say, well, yeah. I'll say, well, how about we have you come in like once a week for the next 6 weeks, and on the 7th massage, I'll give it to you for free if that helps your budget. But I want to see you get well, and that consistency is going to make a difference. You don't have to come in once a week forever, but by coming in on a consistent basis for a short while, I know we can make a difference and have a cumulative effect, which will change and make a bigger change for the better for you. And they'll listen to you, and they want to hear that. So go ahead and give them that direction. A couple more things on this before we change topics, and that's understanding that you're the professional. When people say, they come in for that free massage, or even your current clients, and they don't know how often to come in. A surgeon doesn't say, hey man, come in whenever you want for whatever treatment. He'll say, this is what you have. This is my recommendation for treatment. Chiropractors do that. Dentists do that. They'll say every 6 months you should have your teeth cleaned. Well, massage therapists, nobody knows massage better than you. Their clients don't. Right? So if you say, what's your need, what's your desire, Well, typically, if you want to get low back pain to go away, this is the protocol I recommend. And give them specifics. Tell them how often they should come in and help them with that planning and say, you know what, I'd like to see you again one more time this week or once next week to make sure we get taking care of this problem for you. What's a good day for you? Is Thursday better for you, or would you like to come in on Friday? And give them some options, but people want to be told what to do. They want to be educated on what their needs are and what treatment would help them with that need. It's also really important to rebook that person's next appointment at the time of treatment. If I just say, hey, call me when you need me, it's not going to work out as well as you think. So when you're talking to your client, you're done, they're about to leave, before they even start walking out the door, say, hey, why don't we schedule your next appointment now while I have my book open? And if they say, I don't have my schedule, say, well, if you'd like, I can go ahead and schedule an appointment, and you can verify later if that's going to work for you or not. But let's at least get you in my book, because it tends to fill up quickly, and I want to make sure I save you a place to see you next time. So don't be afraid to ask, and I think the therapists that are afraid to ask for the next appointment are the ones who don't succeed, because they're just afraid to ask that simple question. Another way to word that is to say, taking care of yourself is a priority. It's important, and I want to see you get well. I know how easy it is to get busy and forget to make an appointment, so why don't we go ahead and get something on the calendar now before my schedule fills up? Simple thing to say, and you'll find most people will schedule with you at that moment just by simply suggesting and asking. If the client does not book an appointment before they walk out of your office, ask them permission. Say, is it okay if I call you in a couple of weeks to see how you're doing and check on you? Or is it okay if I call you in a month to follow up and see how your treatment works for you? And just get that permission, so they're expecting that phone call. So when you do call out of the blue, they're, oh yeah, that's right. But oftentimes we get so busy and we forget to book the next appointment. So don't be afraid to simply ask, is it okay if I call you? But overall, you want to book that second appointment, and all it takes is a simple request of, can we get you on the calendar today?